would be very much beneficial and helpful for most of you in the MSME segment. Firstly, thanks. Firstly, the usage of acoustic analysis and visual analytics. We can combine this to a common segment called AI. We all know it stands for artificial intelligence. Now, what is artificial about it? It is the intelligence that the machines would provide. And you can write a full book on that. I'm sure you have come across, each one of us has come across multiple readings, multiple articles on that. But what is the usage? One or two examples. Acoustic analysis, what is that? There are manufacturing clients who are actually using sounds. Just imagine a car mechanic. All of us are owners of we have come across this. A car mechanic in Calcutta can differentiate between a bad sound and a right sound of an engine, right? That whole experience, as the concept of digital twin, which Dr. Pal said, if you imagine that whole experience can be replicated to a machine, which means a machine can hear a particular sound and tell you that this is the right sound, this is the sound coming from a faulty machine, or this is the sound that is coming from not a faulty machine. The technology has been taken to that level, to the shop floor, and there are companies who are using sound analysis and taking predictive decisions out of that. Second is, their twin brother is the visual analysis. Yes, the usage of camera, this usage of CCTV has been already there. But I wanted to show you something extremely extreme. This is, I should have made the picture pretty large. This is a picture coming from an oven, where that white sheet which you see is actually a steel sheet going in. So steel, we have worked with different steel companies. I wouldn't say many, but there are a few. So the whole concept here is, I'm not here to preach a client, but I'm here to preach the technology. Cameras are being put inside blast furnaces, special cameras, inside ovens, where a steel sheet is passing, and while the steel coil is going through, obviously it will come across various flares. There is what is the problem in having a flare inside an oven? If you have flares, small flares, medium flares, large flares, each flare carries some gases. And when the steel sheet comes out, depending on the amount of flares it has encountered within that baking period when it was there, the amount of CO2 and carbon monoxide and the other poisonous gases form bubbles inside the steel sheets. This has been an old problem. People who are associated with, I know there are, Mr. Behera is from Tata Steel, so anybody associated with steel manufacturing would understand this. Now, the problem is when the steel sheet comes out, it goes to the whole channel of quality inspection, and that also comes much later. We have put in cameras inside the furnace, and it detects in real time whether it's a small flare, medium flare, a large flare, and in real time it captures the number of such things. And when the steel sheet comes out, let's name it coil number 34. Coil number 34 has come across so many gases, so many flares, which is directly proportional to the amount of carbon monoxide bubbles it has received. So instantly you can take a decision and you can know what is the quality level of that sheet that just came out of the oven.
We are working in 170 countries. Our major objective is to eradicate poverty, inequalities, and promote environmental sustainability. So my presentations will basically share some of the experience of our project which we carried out in the industries of Jharkhand. So my presentations will broadly between what Professor Pal has been saying and what the actual industries are, where they are, and how to increase their sustainability without compromising on the job loss. So if we take a look at Jharkhand, so 40% of the mineral reserves and with first in coal, second in iron, third in copper. But if you see, it is with 36% of BPL populations and 40% of marginal poverty. MSME, more than 1 lakh MSMEs, employing 8.5 lakhs of peoples. GHG, one of the 4th highest GHG emitter of the country. With 2.54% of the Indian populations, it emits, the industrial sectors only emits 5% of the populations. Its industries are most energy intensive. The state is still struggling with the demand-supply gap. Renewable energy, the share of renewable energy is mere 2% of the installed capacity and 0.05% of the national installed capacity. So here our work starts. So how to improve the sustainability of the industrial practice? So our objective is industries are already struggling with competitiveness. So most of the industries are closing. Recently you have heard that with increase of 1 rupees of power tariff, so there are around 200 induction furnace owners who have closed their industries. So a certain increase in the competitiveness or increase in the price of energy could result in a severe job loss, further increase in the profitability. So when we approached the industries, we found that technologies adoptions is a major challenge. So industries are working with the age-old technologies. They are highly energy intensive. So how we started working? So this is what we wanted to share with the chambers. So the chambers, their center of excellence can take this approach forward. So it is based on my experience of working in Jharkhand and also with the secondary steel sector in West Bengal. So we have done the detailed energy audit, not with the detailed energy audit, but we go on explaining the industries, sensitizations on the financial and fiscal benefit. Our next was the enabling ecosystem development, convergence. So all the departments works with silos. So there are schemes of financial and fiscal benefits, but industries are not aware of it. So they don't approach the MSME department, don't work with the industries department, and all the others. Vendor mobilizations. So the vendors are not ready to work with the SMEs. Leave apart the medium scale industries, the small and micro scale industries, the ancillary industries. In Adityapur region, Tata have around 1,200 odd ancillary industries. But if you see the energy intensity of those industries, that's another experience. So when we talk about the industrial mobilizations, there was a questions also from one of the participants like CGTMSC and others. So yes, that is a problem. For any of the technology upgradations, the bankers are not ready to finance. For renewable energy products, so what is the collateral? When you wanted to promote a solar, they're asking for a collateral. When you wanted to take energy efficiency measures, they are asking for collaterals and they don't want to consider the product as a collateral. So there we started hand-holding the industries in mobilizing the things. So this is where we started with the audit. We started with the energy assessments of 120 odd industries, and we found a potential of 16.40 million of total energy savings. So there we started our hand-holding experience, and happy to share that we have implemented energy conservation measures and renewable energy in 48 industries, and now they're able to save off around 3.7 million of energy annually. So solar has already been covered with a payback of less than 5 years.
Requesting Mr. Subra Majumdar, if you can wrap up in
within a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Within a minute. So these are some of the measures which are already being taken up by the industries. So what we wanted to share, that these are some of the case studies of technology upgradations. This is one of the technology upgradations. The industries have, these industries wet drawing machines, they have installed, gone for an upgraded technology, and now they are able to reduce their wastage loss by 12%. So that can be accounted for the additional steel loss. So this is from the payback from the energy point of view only. These are some of the measures which, so what I mean to say that a technological handholding and a convergence is required amongst the policymakers, among the departments, among the financial institutions, and the Center of Excellence, which BCCI is coming up. They should come up as an agency to promote and to bridge up the gap between the SMEs and the technologies. So there should be some agencies, because MSMEs are more bothered about their production, their profitability. They are not bothered about the technologies or their sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Subra. It is really insightful session on improving productivity and good case study. My request, Mr. Dipankar Biswas, to address the gathering on productivity enhancement.
Thank you, Mr. Vera. My only message to MSME is that how do we go about to attract all this to my small MSME unit? My suggestion is that I'm not opening the presentation because we are very delayed. My only one-point message to you all is that you need to do energy audit. Energy auditors are there. They will do the audit. They will recommend what are the areas in which we can save energy. Because if you look at in your balance sheet or your total operational cost, maybe after material and labor cost, the energy is the biggest cost, including all electricity, heating, etc., etc. If you consider all cost as energy cost, that will be the third component in your manufacturing facility. So please do energy audit, and with the recommendation of the energy auditors, energy managers, you please implement one by one. You cannot do everything together. With my experience, you cannot do everything together, whatever we have discussed for the day, but you can start implementing the low-hanging fruits, like the maximum benefit at the minimum cost. What are those areas of improvement? If we start doing like that, my factory will start improving the performance, my cost will cut down, my cost, if it is down, my margins will be better. So this is the only message I want to give for the delayed message. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dipankar Biswas. And may I request Chandrama Saha to address the gathering on steel-intensive pre-engineer buildings. You want to share some best practices with MSME can implement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, I know the time, so I'll be short and crisp. I'm Chandroma from Saha Steel Group, and today we'll have a short discussion on sustainable construction and its benefit to MSME. Just a brief intro. I'm from Saha Steel Group. We are headquartered in Kolkata. We operate across 8 verticals, ranging from manufacturing, distribution, and construction. About a decade back, I started my entrepreneurial venture providing turnkey building construction solutions using prefabricated and pre-engineered building technologies. We are also proud partners of Tata Steel and Tata BlueScope Steel for their range of prefab buildings. Over the last 10 years, we have completed over 700 projects across India and Bhutan. Now, coming to the topic. What you see here are melting glaciers, polluted cities, animals running about in fires, and congested, polluted roads. Ladies and gentlemen, in the last 150 years, the carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere has increased by more than 31%, and methane by 151%. It's very alarming. And research says that about 35 to 40% of this global warming is due to construction and related activities. So what do we do? Should we stop making buildings? Should we stop constructing? No, there's a better way. We learn, adopt, and propagate sustainable construction. So what is sustainable construction? It is a way of life. Just like eating healthy organic food, exercising regularly, having a balanced work and personal life is a lifestyle, it is a way of life, so is sustainable construction. It is a philosophy and a way of life. A few principles I want you to take away today would be: A, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce the usage of polluting chemicals and products in your building. Reuse the building products which you are using and recycle the products. The second one, refrain from using agri-land as much as possible and if viable. Third, follow the principles of sustainable architecture, which is optimum space utilization using recyclable materials. Fourth, use alternative building technologies like pre-engineered building technology, LGSF, which is light gauge structural frames, prefab and modular construction. Fifth, use IoT, which my good friends have already spoken about, to automate the building systems. And yes, 3D print buildings. Very soon we are going to have them. Overall, what I want you to think about is, when you are planning any sort of construction, try and protect the natural environment. You must be thinking that as MSMEs who are struggling with so many different types of problems, how does it relate to us? Let's take a look. So what are the limitations before MSMEs today? We've spoken about most of them, so I'll quickly summarize. Limited capital and knowledge and non-availability of skilled labor at affordable cost sums up our financial and labor challenges. Non-availability of suitable technology, constraints on modernization, and limited access to advanced technology summarizes our product and technological challenges. Limited availability of required infrastructure, growing maintenance costs, and high time for construction, they summarize our infrastructural challenges. Now, let's relate both the things together. How can sustainable construction help MSME? I'll share a few ideas with you. How many of you in the audience own such a roof? Empty roof, it's a simple empty roof. Do you have empty roofs? Yes, I can see a hand slightly going up. No more? Okay. Did you know that within 30 days you can convert that empty roof to a money-making machine? No? Okay, here's how it is done. So what you see here is the first way, how to convert your empty roof to an office, world-class looking, or a community hall, or a banquet hall in under 30 days. The technology that you see is Nest Studio from Tata Steel Nestin, and with that, under 30 days, from base to finish, we can do the entire solution. Not only us, but there are many people who can do it for you as well. Think about it. How many of you in the audience own this? Empty land? Somewhere, some plot? No? Okay, fine. But keep this in mind, because if you come across empty plots, in under 90 days, sustainable construction methods can help you convert it to a world-class showroom from foundation to finish using pre-engineered building technologies. Anybody recognize him? Anybody recognizes this? Yes? It's McDonald's. We all know about McDonald's, right? Okay. So the person on top is Ray Kroc. He joined McDonald's about in 1955 and took over the company later on. And today, McDonald's is the largest food retail chain globally. It is valued at about $130 billion, has 38,000 restaurants across 120 countries. What's our takeaway? Simple. Use that same philosophy. Take some empty land, and within a matter of days, either buy it or rent it, and convert it to a wonderful multi-floor F&B project in under 120 days. Now that, okay, the last one. And what are these? Please, come on. They're shipping containers, right? So you are seeing here shipping containers. Do you know what I see? I see beautiful buildings. Reuse shipping containers for making beautiful buildings for all purposes, be it residential, commercial, or industrial. With a little technical expertise, we can convert those shipping units to these wonderful buildings. So what is in it for MSMEs? We have to save time, right? Time is money at the end of the day. So sustainable construction helps us save over 70% time. It uses 100% recyclable materials. It saves more by increasing the energy efficiency. It reduces your maintenance cost by over 60%. And you can modulate the buildings as per the modulations in your business. With that thought, let's bring sustainable empowerment to MSME and planet Earth. Thank you, BCC and I, for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts with this august audience today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandrama. Thank you all our distinguished panelists. It was really a very good sessions on improving the efficiency and productivity of our MSME, as well as sustainable way of construction solution to MSME. Thank you so much. We are signing off the day today.
Thank you, Mr. Behera. May I request Mr. Behera to present the token of appreciation, Dr. Shujyakanto Pal. Mr. Behera to Mr. Sanjay Gaur Thakurta. Mr. Behera to Mr. Shubhra Majumdar. Mr. Behera to Mr. Dipankar Bishwas. Mr. Behera to Ms. Chandrama Shah. And last but not the least, may I request on dais Mr. Shubhrata Shah, please, member of the Manufacturing MSME Committee, to deliver the appreciation to Mr. Behera, please. Thank you, Mr. Shah. With this, we end this session. Now we go to the last session. Now we're going to have the valedictorian award distribution session. So I request all delegates to remain seated. It's the most interesting session for the day. So just give us some time to make all the necessary arrangements. Once again, I request all the delegates to remain seated, please. Shall I call? May I now request Mr. B.B. Chatterjee, sir, our president, to come on the dais, please. Sir. May I request Mr. Shandiban Chakrabarti to be on the dais, please? Sir. Nice. May I request Mr. Alok Mukherjee to be on the dais, please? And Mr. Dev Kumar Basu, the chairperson of the Manufacturing MSME Committee, on the dais, please.